I'm still with Harry Miller from Fair Cop, former cop himself. Harry, before we get to that shining beacon of brilliant policing, Essex, I forgot to ask you when we were discussing these diversity jobs, which are spiralling around the forces in the country. Well, the police forces are spending 15 million quid a year on these diversity roles. What do you think a diversity officer or DEI person does at a police station?
I've absolutely no idea. It's an utter waste of a role. I do know that a couple of years ago now, I was looking through police accounts, and I saw that West Yorkshire Police were looking for an assistant to the director of DEI, and the starting salary was £78,000.
That was for the assistant?
The assistant to the director.
Sorry, if I didn't laugh, I'd cry. I mean, God. This
is W1A stuff, isn't it?
It really is crazy.
It's utterly absurd. What do they do? I'm not entirely sure what their purpose is, but I know one of the things that they do. I got a message just this last week to say that the DEI apparatchik at a local police station had decided that his time was best spent having a war on police coffee mugs.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this. So this is, so if you've got a cheeky mug with a swear word on it, or...
If you've got a cheeky word, yeah, I mean, one of the typical ones would be, in God we trust, everyone else we stop and search. That kind of thing, which is just good, old-fashioned
I like that.
police.
Hope it's true as well.
Exactly. Well, now the DEI officer, an inspector, has decided that anybody that has any of these mugs, they are the wrong sort, and the coffee mugs have to go or they have to go. It's a simple binary choice. You can't be a copper and have a mug. It's as simple as that. So that's one of the things that they do. I think the other thing that they do is make sure that that straight, white, middle-aged males who are heterosexual don't get any opportunity to get to any position of influence, because I think we're seen as too orthodox and far too dangerous. So that they do that. And the other thing they do is make sure that normal people, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the brickie, the former soldier, that these people they put up barriers of entry to make sure that these people do not join up, because these are people with the wrong mugs. Yeah. These are the people who are likely to tell the wrong kind of joke, and we don't want that kind of person in this kind of police force. Because we do not want a police force that looks like the public any longer, because you can't trust the public. We couldn't trust the public over Brexit. We can't trust the public over in the States over Trump. You simply cannot trust the public, and so the DEI officers are making sure that normal people cannot be police officers, and those that are normal, they're getting them booted out as fast as humanly possible. That's what a DEI officer is for.
Well, I've got a message. If there are any police DEI officers tuning in, watching the show at the moment, or listening to the show, and you found that your job boils down to being a mug monitor, I would say to you, get a life and get a proper job. Ridiculous. Let's just talk about Essex for a little while, Harry, if we may. This is the epicentre of non-crime hate incidents. This is where Alison Pearson, the Telegraph columnist, was visited on Remembrance Sunday morning by two coppers. Now, the Essex Police Commissioner, a guy called Roger Hurst, has justified this visit by saying we cannot ignore an alleged crime just because it's politically sensitive. Meanwhile, the Chief Constable there, Ben Julian Harrington, he says that it's his duty, his force's duty, to investigate all reported crimes. His force, like every force in the country, does not investigate all reported crimes. We all know that. You try phoning up the police and saying, I've had my bicycle stolen. They're going to investigate that. Your car stolen. They're going to investigate that. They'll be pretty unlikely to investigate your burglary. They don't investigate hundreds of crimes. So him saying that we have to investigate Alison Pearson is not true. It's just that they prioritise this sort of thought control nonsense, these assaults on free speech, these digital crimes over real crimes.
Yeah, that's right. And it's an absolute lie to say that they have to investigate every single allegation. They do not have to investigate every single allegation. What they're supposed to do is look at what's being said and then judge it against an objective standard. And if it doesn't come close to being criminal, then they do not and must not investigate it, because if they do, it amounts to harassment. It's as simple as that. Let's just take one or two, four instances. Northumbria police investigated Lindsay Smith, the Newcastle United fan, because she had the temerity to say that she was LGB, not LGBT. They said that this was a crime, not a non-crime, a crime.
By the way, Harry, just sorry to interrupt. We've had Lindsay on the show a couple of times, and she is currently banned from attending Newcastle games. She's a lifelong Newcastle fan. She's not allowed to go to St James's Stadium. She's banned for that tweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was so shocking about that was Newcastle United, the FA and Northumbria Police colluded together. We've seen the emails. We know that's happened. And thank God Toby Young and the Free Speech Union are taking Newcastle United to task. And we're taking, Fair Cop are taking Northumbria Police as Chief Constable Vanessa Jardine to task on behalf of Lindsay. Over in Merseyside, just a couple of months ago, two anti-terrorist police officers turned up at the home of a 19-year-old young woman. Why? Because she had what they called a Anglo-Saxon Viking helmet on display. It wasn't. It was actually a replica Roman helmet. But this is the kind of ridiculousness that is going on with the police at the moment. And they investigate, not because they have to, not because they're obliged to, but because they want to, because they see themselves as a political police force, and they see their job as crushing all forms of heresy. All forms of orthodox heresy. And they don't need you to have committed a crime. They have no intention, more often than not, of taking you to court. What they want to do is turn up at your place of work, ring you up, knock on your door, and make sure that you suffer the chilling effect, so that you learn to bite your tongue and shut up and not express what you think. If they achieve that, their job is done.
Well, there's a guy called, this is to conclude about Essex Police, there's a guy called Councillor Neil Gregory. He's an Essex man. He is a member of the Essex Police Fire and Crime Panel. He, in the light of Alison Pearson's saga, has accused the Essex Police of, and I quote, institutional incompetence and dysfunction on an epic scale. They are prioritising diversity over real crime. Pretty much sums it up, because Essex does not have a good track record. And by the way, to investigate Alison Pearson, they set up this kind of gold squad of crack detectives who are usually used in anti-terrorist cases. So these are the top coppers who usually investigate important crimes, terrorism. They've been seconded in to investigate Alison Pearson's tweets. Am I missing something, Harry, or is this completely deranged?
Well, it reveals their priorities. It reveals that they have become a political police force. When the High Court judge in my case back in 2019 said we had never had a Stasi, a Cheka or a Gestapo, unfortunately that statement is now entirely out of date. We have Starmer's Stasi. It's as simple as that. We have Cooper's Coppers. The Home Secretary and our Prime Minister are actively encouraging police officers to be political, to interfere with with the public when they misbehave by saying the wrong thing or going on the wrong protest or writing the wrong thing on Twitter. They are actively encouraging. I myself am due to be interviewed tomorrow. I don't know what for, but apparently I too am guilty of yet another hate crime.
Oh my God.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Well, you must let us know what that is, Harry. And lastly, let me just tell you, even Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of Doom, when she was confronted with this news, it was the front page story in the Times last Friday, that a 9-year-old child had been investigated by the hate crime police for a hate crime for calling one of his or her fellow 9-year-olds in the primary school playground a nasty name, saying they smelt of fish or something. When she was confronted with this, she sort of did, in the end, concede that she could think of better uses of police time, which has to rank as one of the most, one of the understatements of the century. This has all got to stop. It's all got to stop. Well, listen, Harry, fantastic talking to you, and let us know. We'll be in touch tomorrow, find out what your hate crime was. Good luck. I hope you don't end up in prison over this.